There's no way Gi-Hun's daughter becomes player 456 in Squid Game Season 4 USA. That is insane. Squid Game has had a lot of twists and turns in the past seasons, but none of them can prepare you for how messed up Season 4 will be. You'll see things that will make you question everything you thought you believed about society, but most importantly, it'll give us the perfect curiosity, mixed with revenge plot. Like and subscribe right now if you are excited for Squid Game Season 4. We saw how Season 3 ended, and I must tell you, I had a lot to think about. I'm sure you thought about the end a lot. And one of the things I thought about was how Gi-Hun's daughter, Ga-yeong, was going to be involved in the show's future. I mean, think about it. Gi-Hun is dead, so we don't have a protagonist anymore. So we're going to need a new protagonist for Season 4, which is set in America. Guys, walk with me. Ga-yeong is Gi-Hun's daughter, and she lives in America. That makes her automatically fit on all sides. And to make things even better, we will get a different motivation. Unlike most characters in Squid Game that are driven by greed, poverty, and need, Ga-yeong will be motivated by something completely different. She will be motivated by loss, love, and curiosity, and believe me when I say that those three things mixed together is the recipe for bringing down empires. And who wouldn't want to bring down Squid Game Empire? Let's take a look back at Season 1. We saw Gi-Hun and his daughter were really close, despite the fact that he couldn't provide for her, but he tried his very best, and she loved him. But we saw him cancel his plans to go visit her at the end of Season 1. And from what we saw in Season 2, he hadn't spoken to her in years. She must have felt abandoned, like she didn't matter to him. He was without a doubt her favorite parent, and he just stopped talking to her. I can imagine how badly that must have hurt her. Imagine that you were her, feeling all this, and all of a sudden, some strange man appeared in front of your door, claiming that your father had passed away. Like, what? No, just think about it. My reaction would definitely be, what the heck are you even talking about? But that won't be my only question. I'd wonder how he died. Why the official authorities didn't call me or my mother. Anyway, that's enough of talking about Ga-yeong in the first person. But I'm sure you get the picture right now. And all of this has me wondering if and how she would become a player in the games. I mean, we saw Gi-Hun try to fight the games from inside and he lost. We saw Detective Jun-ho try to fight the games from outside and he lost as well. So what will Ga-yeong do differently? Well, for a first, she will try to find out as much as she can from the outside, which won't be much because only those who have played the game or being workers in the game can actually give answers. So unless she would be able to find Jun-ho or Noel, she won't have any leads. But at this point, she isn't looking for answers about the games. She's looking for answers about her father's death. And to get that answer, she will try to find out who knew her father or if the police had any reports on him. And to do that, she would try two things. The first is asking her mom for anyone's number she could ask to call for information about her father. Before the fact that Gi-Hun had been living as a ghost, she might be forced to use the second option, which is to travel to South Korea herself. You know what they say, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Well, that would most likely be the case with her, but just hear me out, okay? What if she didn't go to Korea? What if she couldn't find any leads to follow? After all, she is just a teenager, and other than the fact that she could get really nosy, and she is financially great since the frontman gave her father's money to her, I don't see what else she has that can help her. Even the way she finds out about the game will purely be coincidental. She will see the recruiter handing someone a card after playing Dekachi with a drunk or homeless man. That card will have 3 Squid Game shapes, like the box her father's clothes came in. I can imagine how wide her eyes will pop. She will quickly approach the recruiter and ask who the heck she is. The recruiter will be amazed by her question, but will not have an answer for her. She will then ask Ga-yeong if she wants to play the game. Ga-yeong just wants to know if the recruiter knows her father, but it's possible that she does. I mean, think about it. At the end of Season 3, when the frontman saw the recruiter playing Dekachi in the back alley with the homeless man, he was surprised because clearly he didn't know that the games were being played in America. but the recruiter seemed to know him. She gave him a subtle nod, as though she was paying her respects to him. So I think we can all agree that she has some knowledge about the Korean Squid Games, and maybe she takes notes of all the winners, but I won't really count on that. Ga-yeong will tell the recruiter her father's name and ask what the tracksuit and the number on the tracksuit meant. She might even show a picture of the tracksuit that she had taken to show the recruiter. Interested by Ga-yeong's story, she will tell her that she can't tell her what happened, but if she's interested in playing the games her father played and learning more about how he lived his life in the last days, then she should come play the games as well. I don't think they will play Dekachi because Ga-yeong is clearly not looking for money, and she doesn't need to be convinced. The recruiter gives her a card with a number on it, and she calls the number once the recruiter walks away. Things will get spicy from here. I remember how nervous I was when Gi-Hun first called the number on the card and was given a location to show up at a particular time. But I think I'd be more nervous, cause I know there's a high chance she might not make it out there. When she eventually enters the games, she will wake up in a dormitory feeling dizzy. I think the shot drugs that will be used to knock out players for transportation will be stronger since America is a bigger country and the transportation of players while they're not awake is extremely important. When everyone wakes up, Ga-yeong will first notice the tracksuits everyone is wearing. They're all the same with the fathers that she received from Min-ho. The next thing she will notice is the numbers on everyone's tracksuit. She will quickly look at her own and she will see the number 456 on her suit. Oh, this is getting interesting, isn't it? She's wearing the exact number her father wore when they played the games. And remember that Gi-Hun played the game twice and won twice. I don't care about what anyone else says. Gi-Hun won the Squid Game twice, okay? If you doubt it, remember that the final game of Season 3, multiple players could be the winners of the game as long as they killed a player on each shaped tower. But they all lost their minds and killed each other, until it was Gi-Hun and the baby left. Gi-Hun had won, and all he had to do was leave with the baby. But I guess he couldn't handle the trauma of surviving another edition of the games, so he killed himself by throwing himself off the last tower. So I meant what I said. Gi-Hun won the games twice. Just imagine how crazy it'll be if Ga-yeong won the games this time while wearing that same number 456. At that point, they'd just have to retire the number in every country that Squid Game is being played on, cause 456 does not lose. Do you know how crazy it is for one family to dominate the game in 3 different editions of the game, in 2 different countries? And it will be so crazy to know that Ga-yeong would win without even wanting the money. That would be so cool. But hey, let's back up a little bit. No, in fact, let's back up a lot. Let's go back to the very first game, because assuming that Ga-yeong will win the games would just be going too far. Some of you are wondering how Ga-yeong ended up with the same number as her father. Well, I don't think it's a coincidence because I don't believe in coincidence. I always say that in all my videos. It is actually an inside joke by the recruiter. She would have thought it would be poetic or at least funny to have Ga-yeong compete with the same number as her father. Now, for the games, I know Ga-yeong will survive the first round. How am I so sure? Well, for one, she has an idea of what she's walking into. I mean, she doesn't know what the games are or how they happen, but she knows her father died in these games. She doesn't need anyone to tell her that. So she knew that she'd have to be very cautious and she will follow the rules. She will move when necessary and stop when asked to. Even those that panic getting shot, she will stand her ground. Don't get me wrong, she will be terrified like crazy, but she knows that one little slip up can lead her to her end, so she will stand very still. I guess that at one point she might even be too scared to move, but she will have to suck it up and move like her life depends on it, because it really does. When she succeeds in crossing that first game, she will be so terrified. She might even have dreams of her father at night. It'll be like a little cameo for us to see Gi-Hun on screen one more time, and I know I'm gonna cry in that scene. Anyways, I'd like to think that her story is being shared with the VIPs because they will like that kind of story. Father lost his life in the games, and daughter enters to play the games on another continent. I can sense that it's kind of messed up fantasy that tickles their senses. Ga-yeong will play the second game, which might be something like Capture the Flag. And this is where I'm scared for her. I mean, she looks like a girly's girl, and I don't know how agile and strong she really is. But since she looks slim and fit, she will be lucky to get on a team with agile and fit people. And together, they will pass the game. The third game, on the other hand, let's say pacer test. Oh dear. That will drain her out, but I think she will survive that as well. The game that might give her a difficult time will be something like musical chairs, which will be the fourth, because she would have to be faster, maybe even stronger in case someone tries to pull or push her off. But somehow, if she manages to survive the fourth and fifth, the real challenge is going to be the final game, Squid Game. Remember that in all the games, she hasn't killed anyone directly. Well, that's what survival in the final game requires, and that's the level I can't predict. I'd leave that for you guys to decide. But that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Honestly guys, I don't know if I'm going to continue Squid Games because, I don't know when season 4 is going to be released, and it's quite sad because I'm trying my very best to, stay in touch with you guys about it. But let me know what other video ideas I should do for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you want to check out my recent video, you most certainly can, putting it in the middle of the screen right now. See you guys in the next video. Peace out and take care. Goodbye.